Happy Friday. I hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday time. I always feel like the time between Christmas and the end of the calendar year is like this almost like hazy period. You know, it's like a lot of people aren't really doing anything and they're staying home, and I don't know, it's kind of a strange time. But we are going to see what the sun, moon, and star spread has to say today. It's beautiful and sunny out. There is still snow on the ground, although I think most of it's probably going to melt today since it's a little warmer. All right, I think maybe one more. Perfect. Okay. So. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so this is, yeah, this is funny. This is very appropriate for the holidays. So in the sun position, what's being illuminated is the moon card. The moon is a great card to have in the sun position because the moon talks about maybe you're not seeing things very clearly. You know, it's sort of nighttime, but if you look at the card, it's really interesting because it's like the moon is there, but the moon is almost over the sun. And the card doesn't look very dark either. So it's kind of like, is it nighttime or is it daytime? Like, I can't quite tell. You know, sometimes when the moon is really bright, it looks like early morning light, or sometimes when it's super cloudy, it looks like it's nighttime, you know. It's like things might not be exactly what they seem. And so you're aware, something's coming into your consciousness that you're like, I don't know if that's quite accurate. And it's really good to notice that. And I feel like the dogs represent distractions. So the dogs, one's a dog, one's like a coyote or some kind of wild canine. They're howling at the moon. And it's like a lot of times when things aren't clear, people get freaked out and then they just start spinning their wheels and like yelling about it and stuff. So I'm getting the image of like someone who sees something online and they don't know if it's true or not, but they just start like commenting on it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like distracted, illusionary energy. But it's something, you're becoming aware of this. You're like, so I see that things might not be what they seem, which puts you in the position of the crayfish, lobster, crawdad, whatever you want to call it. And the lobster has a path in front of them, right? They're not really, I don't even know if the lobster's looking at the moon, right? They're like, there's a path in front of them. You're supposed to follow the path. Regardless of what's going on around you, you're supposed to put one foot in front of the other, like stay present. So when things seem a little bit, I don't know if that's right or not, you know, it's like, just focus on the here and now, put one foot in front of the other. In the position of the moon, we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands, I've talked about this before, the King of Wands loves action. The king wants to be doing something. It looks like he's leaning forward, about to like leap off the throne. So someone, or perhaps this is you, someone around you might be wanting to leap into action. And, you know, what this is saying is it's like winter time. It's like, is there a way you can do less? Especially if we're in a moon period, right? If you're in a moon period where you're like, I'm not sure I'm quite seeing things clearly, it's usually a sign that you don't need to rush into action. Take a beat. And that goes right along with the card in the star position. The guidance forward is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very wise. This king is happy to sit on the throne and think, right? I'm trying to see what's on, I can't, you know, there are actually butterflies on the throne in the back. Butterflies, and it looks like the moon. So it's like when, which butterflies are a symbol of transformation, yes, but again, caterpillars don't look like butterflies, right? So perhaps you're in a moon period. Again, there are moons on there where it's like you might be going through something where it might, you're like maybe in a period of transformation. So things don't quite look right. You know, when the caterpillar throws itself in the cocoon, it doesn't even look like a caterpillar or a butterfly anymore. It just looks like a little thing hanging from a branch, and it stays there until it's ready to come out. And so the King of Swords, it's like, I get like this card is a card of observation. It's like, let's see what happens. Let's see what plays out, because we're not sure what we're going to need to do yet. So let's wait, see where the chips fall, and then we'll be able to take action. Swords are cards of action, kind of like the wands. Not as action-oriented as the wands, but they're quick. And so the King of Swords knows that he will know exactly what to do and when to do it when things become clear. This is also a card of clarity, right? So it's like, wait for clarity to come in before you take that action. And again, it's like wintertime. We're not supposed to be doing like a whole, or our doing is very different than like summertime doing, right? So just take a beat. Things will become clear soon. And in the meantime, just watch. The moon also kind of talks about like waiting too, you know? So it's like waiting for the fog to clear. There's no need to rush off and do things right away. So I'm going to pull a card from the Poesis Oracle deck to clarify or, you know, shed any more light on the reading. And maybe one more. Oops. I don't take pop-outs, so, you know. Perfect. Oh, this is a card of growth. So, which I love this little cute card, by the way. Look at that. Look at it. So, the growth card, it's funny that I was talking about butterflies' transformation because they also, I mean, that is a major growth, right? And growing also doesn't usually happen overnight. What I mean by that is, it's like, you know how there's that saying, watching a blade of grass grow? It's meant to talk about how, like, you don't actually see what's happening, right? It's so gradual that sometimes you don't even see it. So you are growing, but it might mean you don't see it yet, right? So perhaps you are learning this holiday season that if you're not sure of what's happening, you take a beat, right? You don't just rush headlong into action anymore. Like, you have grown. I wish, there we go. The light's a little better there. It's like you are getting wiser with that King of Swords, and you know that sometimes it's best to stay still,